I do live in the future. Also in the past. There are distinctly some New Yorkers that believe I'm in the past, and some Texans, and everybody in between.
That's fair. But I mean, don't we all live in the past to some degree?
I mean, I spend a lot of time contemplating the past, so yeah.
I mean, most of my life was lived in the past. It's only right now that I'm living in the present, and someday I hope to get to the future.
Someday you hope to get to the future. So I read recently that
it's still the present.
50% of our mental energy is spent in contemplating the past, and then the rest of it mostly is the future, and then a little bit about the present. Does that ring true for you?
No, not personally. I don't spend much time thinking about the future at all.
Yeah, I think that's
I don't really consider it as gonna be there for too much longer. But we'll see.
You don't think the future is gonna be there much longer?
Yeah. I mean, for
we might not be here to witness it, but the future is gonna go on for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
and Franklin Richards will be there.
Yeah, I was
and Richards. What?
Frank.
And
Bruja. Welcome to the show. Fentinuum, welcome to the show. Jill B. Pill. I don't know who that is, but she sounds like a bee.
Jesus.
Right? Am I right? She's got the B in the middle of her two names. She's got to be a bee.
In the middle. Yeah.
Fentinuum, what is up? I'm kidding. I know who Jill is. Hey, Jill, what's up?
You guys are partners in crime.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
If podcasting is a crime,
we've got ATN on the other end.
I think podcasting should be a crime, and let us all reap the rewards. You know what I mean? Execute the lot of us.
We've got Jeff on the other end.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi. Hello.
And I'm Yule.
We know who you are, Yule. Except it doesn't say your name. It doesn't say your name on the screen.
Yeah. Well, I'm welcoming people to the show first. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Okay, cool. We've done that. Now let's see your name.
Yeah.
Welcome.
All right. How do I do that?
Have you ever encountered people that just like, oh, yeah, that's Yule. This is how you spell it and everything's fine? Have you ever encountered that?
This is how you spell it and everything's fine.
I don't think, No.
No, usually they cry.
Oh, look,
it breaks down screaming and crying.
It's not your name.
That's not my name. That's where you can find me on Instagram at Filthy Burger. That's pretty good.
It is good. That is good.
All right. Let me. This is how you spell my name for those of you that don't know. Let's see here.
It's spelled Yule.
It's spelled
Y-O-O-L.
Y-O-O-L.
J-U-U-L.
There's Y-U-L.
Y-U-L-E. Like Yuletide.
Y-U-L-E like the Velvet Underground. Doug Yule.
Doug Yule. How do you spell it?
Y-U-L-E.
Y-U-L-E. There's that.
Like the dog.
There's Yule Gibbons. That was when I was a kid. He ate grape nuts on a commercial.
What?
But I don't remember how he spelled his name. Yule Gibbons.
Famously ate.
Yeah, he was like a naturalist or something like that.
I remember that.
And he did grape nut commercials.
Of course he did. That's the natural progression. You go from naturalist to famous naturalist to grape nuts commercials, and then nobody knows who you are.
And dead, probably.
And then dead of a grape nuts overdose at age
I choked
95.
on one. I swear it got lodged in
It's not hard to do, man. Those things
you're supposed to put
they
milk
cut
in.
on the way down. The milk.
They
those
do.
things.
They do.
That's the cereal where you don't have to worry about it getting soggy.
You pour your grape nuts. You get a shower. Take a nice long. Come out.
And then it finally pastes up just a little bit.
Well, I mean, we used to. I only ate grape nuts in the winter and only ate it hot. Like I pour the milk in the bowl, microwave it, and then it's like gets a little soft and hot. Put a little sugar on there.
Hot grape nuts, huh?
Get a little apple, cut up an apple.
Does it have a hot recipe on the box?
It probably does, actually.
So this isn't something that you figured out on your own.
No. I did it if my parents figured it out because they did it for me, but I'm sure
that's
they
what
did not
parents are for, you know. Don't
Telling
worry, kid. We'll figure it out
knows.
for you and then tell you what to believe. Grape nuts
then
hot.
We'll tell you stuff that everyone knows and then pretend like we made it up.
Yeah, exactly. There is no Santa Claus.
Wait, what?
How old were you when you found out that there was no Sandy Claus?
I remember being very upset when I was young.
I think
But
I
not
was like
so young.
5. Pretty sure
Yeah,
it was about
something like that.
5. My brother told me. My mom was like, "Why did you tell him?" And he's like, "He had to know the truth." He's still like that, right? He's still like that.
He's an investigative journalist. He speaks
No.
truth to power.
I wish he was an investigative journalist.
He speaks truth to children. He speaks truth to 5-year-olds. He still is the same way you're saying he goes around and tells little kids there's no Santa Claus still. He's
Gather
still doing-
around, children. I have bad news. No one had to tell you. Did you set up a game trail camera and like catch your parents red-handed?
No, I so there was a neighbor kid that told me, and I
What
was
a
like, bullshit.
dick.
I know, I was like, bullshit. And that's when you get taught that, or you get introduced to that letter. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus, and it's like, oh, that's you make you feel better about it. I hope nobody young is watching. I don't care that I said bullshit, but they would blow in this. I really felt let down and lied to. Like the first time I was really lied to as a kid. I realized that. And then religion came into play.
And my parents got all over my ass because I lied. And then they're sitting here telling me about Santa Claus like it's the gospel truth. Yeah. So I was like, hypocrite, both of you. What the hell?
Well, I mean, it's good because, you kind of, I don't know, you don't want everybody to be, the other kids in school to find out, too early. It's kind of a sensitive thing.
Fantinium, that was very nice of you, I have to say.
What did he do?
He kept the lie from his sister.
Oh, that's good. What did you?
It is good.
Yeah,
my brother's not that way.
Sure, in the ears, so you want to hear it.
My brother believes everybody should know. You've been deceived. So funny. So funny.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I have no recollection of finding that.
Well, Jesus,
probably from watching the movie Gremlins.
Well, remember how much time you don't spend in the past?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm all 1,000% present.
Like
so
right
our
now.
mutual friend Tyler, you should see the crap that he did like years ago, a few years ago at least. He would get
the lies, elaborate lies.
Oh my God, it was so elaborate. There was this phone that he bought,
a burner.
Every day at like 5 o'clock or whatever, they would get a call from the North Pole to let you know about Santa's, the progress and what's going on up until Christmas.
Santa's coming.
Santa's
like
call every day to be like, I can pull the plug anytime. So watch your ass, kids.
I mean, I don't know if he knows yet, but holy cow.
Did it this year too?
Who was I talking to that whole time?
You did it this year?
I don't know. This was a few years ago.
How old is Jackson?
Not that old yet.
Really?
He's got to be 8, 9 years old.
I'm looking at Jill.
Jill, yeah,
let
I
us
was
know.
going to say. Jill is
Tell us.
I'm
I'm not even in there. Hold on. Let me get this open.
Hey, Glitter and Duct Tape. How's it going? We're just getting started.
Hey, Jaffro. Yeah, they're working great.
Yeah, good work.
Good work. He's a...
Catch the leprechaun. I have a feeling that like Tyler's childhood was really, really adult. And I don't mean like bad adult. I mean like
XXX.
His parents didn't have it in them to have children and like be friendly to kids. That's how I feel because Tyler's so focused on like maintaining the childhood that he never had or whatever.
Thank you, Dr. Lewell.
You're welcome.
No, he's not that anymore.
Oh, wait.
Speaking of lying, for like a few months now doing podcasts with you, I've been calling you Lewell.
And you still can if you want to. I don't care.
You're stepping out from behind the mask?
He already did last week.
I guess I forgot about that.
He put
it's becoming
ATM.
complicated.
Oh,
It is. Yeah.
it is?
It's because Jill won't call him that.
No, it's not
Oh,
true.
on the other shows.
That is not
So
true.
then he's like part-time he's ATN, part-time he's Lewell.
This is exactly what I was talking about. This is the kind of parents that Tyler had. Won't go with the lie. Just won't go with it, you know? Everybody else, just no problem. But no, not you.
Everybody else lets Lewell live in his little fantasy world, but not Jill. Jill's like, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
This is the real world.
12 years old. That's a wow.
Doxed you live on the air. She's doxing you week in and week out.
Nobody in America knows how to spell ATN.
That's the problem, man. Nobody knows how to pronounce it, and it's more. But I should have chosen an easier nickname, like Bub.
Bub.
Yeah, or just call me brother. Yep,
No, we don't do
Fantinuum got it and won, but I don't know, man. But I went to public school, so I'm used to it not being correct. My expectations are low. Canada, yep, they got lots of French up there, huh? All right, so what's new, Yule? What's new in comic books? Comic books.
Well, before we get to the comics, it was a very, very trying week for me.
Yeah.
And one of those weeks where you're like, I'm done.
Done with what?
Yeah, exactly. With what?
Were you on the phone with the suicide prevention?
No, nothing like that. Because
so
I don't
you weren't done. You're exaggerating.
I don't want to be
it's hyperbole.
I don't want to be talked out of anything.
Oh.
So why call suicide prevention? You know what I mean?
Touche, my friend.
If I made up my decision, they're the last people I want to call.
Yeah. I got you.
So Wednesday, which is my Friday, and my weekend is Thursday. I got into an accident, and I would say
an automotive
accident. I didn't have a bathroom problem.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Kind of sounded like you peed your pants.
I had an accident. Well, that would be mortifying here at the store, and I might, I could close up. So you all get out of here. Yeah, get out of here.
You just go next door and you get a beer, and then you pour the beer all over your lap, and you're just like, "Oh, I spilled my beer. No big deal," right? That's how you cover that up.
You get the dog to lick it up.
Exactly. Anyway, I got in an automotive accident. I was getting on the freeway on my favorite spot, the 13.
What?
And
favorite spot on the freeway?
You know how it is. Like I've been having problems with people coming the other direction. And now I had a problem going in at the same spot, right? When you get out, the off ramp or the on ramp, it really doesn't matter. And, I thought it was a pretty good night. I talked to Fantinuum, sold some comic books. It was pretty fun. And so getting on the freeway, it's one lane. There's no other lane. In fact, there are they're not little. They're plastic pillars, I guess. To prevent you from wanting to get in.
But you can.
From wanting to
but you can because they leave some extra space for some reason.
And they're just plastic.
And they're just plastic because, who really cares? So this sports car decided to go in as I was passing. I was going the speed limit. And it's funny because just prior to that, I was thinking about how since there's only one lane, if anybody ever wanted to really F with someone, they could be in front, stop, and then someone from behind, and then you're trapped and nowhere to go. And that's pretty much what happened to me, except I got pinned up against the side of the on-ramp, the metal barricade.
Okay, so wait, you didn't hit another car didn't hit you?
Yeah, they came in and didn't see me, and I was driving, and I'm honking, there's nothing I could do,
deploy missiles.
Yeah, deploy missiles.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do because you're not the kind of Californian that believes in owning a gun. Some Californians would just pull it out and just start popping at that point.
I wish I would have been going a little bit faster or flying, and then it wouldn't happen. Or maybe they would hit me in the back and it would have been worse. Anyway, that person decided not to stop and just kept going.
Did you get the
I mean, they
plates?
stopped to get. There's no time.
No time.
Not only that, I mean,
Dash cam.
yeah, well, that'd have been it maybe have been a thing, but they hit me from the side, and I still don't know. I mean,
They have like they can be turned on when they feel a jar, and then they just roll for a little while until you turn them off or whatnot. So if you sped away, you could have. Anyway, just thought for the future.
I mean, why don't you have a drone that just hovers above your car at all times?
That is the way things are gonna go. I promise you. I promise you. Everybody's car is gonna have a drone at some point.
I saw Blade Runner 2049.
I don't know what car it was. I don't know. It was a little car. It was black. I don't even really know. I mean, I was really in a daze. It's like I wasn't even really on the freeway. I was just on the on-ramp, and so like everybody's like getting to the side and trying to get through while I'm just kind of like dazed.
Oh, so you were in that one lane, weren't you?
I was blocking it, yeah.
Yeah,
and
the one lane.
Oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna pass this guy. Don't worry if he's dead or not. My whole front of my car is caved in, but not so much to where I can't drive it. So
does
that's
it make
the thing.
Your noise now, like
no,
you're all
knock on wood. Everything is cool right now. So I can save up a couple bucks and take it in. I don't have any lights on my left side.
You're a daytime driver anyway. No big deal
for the most part, but there's tonight.
Tonight is the night.
Tonight is the night, and
say it like Neil Young. Say it like Neil Young.
I don't know how to say it like Neil.
Tonight's the night. Something
that
like
is,
that. I'm pretty sure.
Much closer to Neil Young than whatever we were doing. This
sounds great.
I love Neil Young though. So.
Me too.
Thank you. I'm glad that I'm okay also. But I was really, I'm so fed up with coming out to Berkeley all the time and the nuts and. I'm not talking about peanuts. I mean, there's just such crazies. And there's this woman that was yelling today and banging on trash cans. What's her name again, Jeff?
Trash can lady.
My understanding is that her name is Catherine, but her name that I heard that she introduces herself by is Eve St. Lucifer.
Eve St. Lucifer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Berkeley is very stressful.
That is a name out of fiction. You know what I mean? That's a decent fiction name.
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad at all.
If Gaiman heard it, he'd use it in a book.
I feel like if Gaiman saw her, he'd use
her in a book. Yeah, totally.
Well, might use her not in a book. Come here, lady.
Whoa.
Come here, trash can lady.
Some days, maybe, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so there was that. And then, we kind of had a crummy week. And then on Saturday, our credit card machine broke. Like just
on a Saturday? Whoa, that's so convenient. Why not a Tuesday?
Exactly. We have a new machine now, so I don't have to tell people on this or on Facebook or anything that we don't have one. But
Square.
It was just like 3 strikes. I'm done. And I'm ready to sell. Let's sell this place. Either that or burn it down.
Oh. No.
Now that you said it,
you can't burn places down anymore.
Oh, damn. Oh, well. I guess I have to live with it.
Jaffro is pissed right now because
he can walk away whenever he wants. I just want to be able to get the mics working again.
Don't let him walk away, man.
That's what, he's way more important to me than me in the store as far as like the everyday function of it going, other than, selling the comics or caring about the comics and, the comic end of it. But he's everything else on the other side. All right. And
he cares about Robotech.
He does care about Robotech. That's true. I put some new pictures up for my cam. See that?
Oh, are you a cam boy now?
Well, this
for
is
money?
a cam. I don't know about for money. We don't have enough viewers to justify.
Isn't that your picture from Facebook or something?
Yeah, I use it for Twitter, I do believe.
You know what? That reminds me. I don't know. I still don't. I never even looked before I got into the whatever. Never mind. Sorry.
So here's
that was
some.
worth
I'm gonna share screen now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I can do this, guys. So there were some comic books. So you're gonna, anyway. Just be warned. You're gonna see something funky for a sec.
You're talking about the infinitely regressive screen.
Yeah, there you go. All right. How does that work? Pretty
Great.
good.
Yeah, can see Doctor Who stuff. Lots of pictures.
Doctor Strange.
Whatever.
So this is Doctor Strange, which was kicked off by Mark Waid and Jesus Saiz. It is now a soon-to-be canceled comic book. It's going to go about 25 issues or something like that. And
did you say it's soon to be canceled?
Soon to be canceled. December. This is a brand new cancellation.
So it's been canceled and it goes until December, or you know something that he doesn't know?
Well, what's going to happen is that the writer, Mark Waid, is going to kick off a new Doctor Strange following the one in December that's ending. And this one is going to be, instead of Sorcerer Supreme, it's going to be Surgeon Supreme. He's going to get back his ability to actually operate on people.
Is he going to be arrogant about it?
Well, yeah.
Well, he was originally. You'd think he'd have a little bit of humility, but
what happened? He strapped for cash.
Yeah,
he's like, got to get back in that surgery game because
my hands are worth more than gold.
I have to sell the Bleecker Street place.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Now he's going to make money. We're going to have a great like a medical procedural or whatever.
I kind of fell off reading that series, but I really liked the beginning of it. Like that space stuff was super cool, actually, and like him becoming a universal mate, like learning all these different outer space schools of magic and teaming up with that alien who was like a
nuclear
magic item builder and collector. That was all cool stuff. And Jesus Saiz.
I had a little bit of a problem with it because it was following the it was following the Donny Cates run, but it was the Doctor Strange
Death
series that Jason Aaron had started. And at the beginning of that, all of magic was basically being destroyed, leaving Doctor Strange powerless, or at least we thought so. And then Mark Waid comes in, and he's basically doing the same thing. He had to trade in his magic for something, and he was trying to acquire it in a different way. I mean, one was one guy losing it, and then, which is funny because when I had dreams of writing a Doctor Strange comic, I wanted to do something like Doctor Strange and the Gargoyle. Look him up, or maybe I will in a sec. And they would go in a minivan across America.
I like it.
But he had renounced his Sorcerer Supreme. That was going to be my my premise.
Well, I feel like they could have. If
everybody's trying to take his magic away.
The failure of that whole situation that you're talking about was from an editorial standpoint because someone should have ensured that it was a smooth transition from Jason Aaron destroying magic and then it having to come back through the World Tree and Loki and all that stuff, and then it should have been just a smooth transition into that next. I mean, I love that Donny Cates stuff in between. That was great.
Yeah, it was very good. Although
it just didn't made for an awkward transition into Mark Waid's run, which I thought was really.
There was that
had a lot of really cool things going on, even though the beginning and the whole premise was stupid.
That Damnation story that Donny Cates did was a little weird.
He did
because, yeah, he did. It was weird because Doctor Strange brings. I mean, what's the one rule you're supposed? You're not supposed to bring people to life. When you get wishes or when you gain magic, you're not supposed to bring people to life usually. And he just does it. And not only does he do it, he brings all of Las Vegas back to life. They had just gotten what happened that was that? Oh, I know what it was. It was after Secret Empire. And all of Las Vegas basically got nuked by evil Steve Rogers, Hydra Cap.
Yeah,
And Doctor Strange was like, "Oh, I'm going to bring everybody back to life," and it's like, that's not going to be a good thing, and yet he did it anyway. Stupid. Anyway, that's one book that Marvel is canceling. We found out also this week that
that's kind of a soft cancel.
It's a soft cancel, but it's a typical Marvel relaunching with a new #1.
Right. Yeah.
Same writer.
Totally.
Usually it's, hey, we got a really big person coming on a book. Let's relaunch it. So at least that's a reason to do it.
That's what it was back in the Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee days, or John Byrne days, or whatever.
Jason Aaron doing Doctor Strange. They brought it back. They've done it.
They do it for. Now they do it for everyone. Now everything is like a mini series. Like everything is just a limited. Every person's run is is it, and then they want to start a new run with a new #1, which might even change the status quo in a way that doesn't totally reference the previous status quo.
Yeah, ridiculous.
It sucks, but I have to say I like those Mark Waid Doctor Strange stories nonetheless.
Well, we also have this week Future Foundation canceled. Never
read a panel. Sorry.
Yeah,
never heard of it.
So Future Foundation is a spinoff of the Fantastic Four. It's basically the kids in Dragon Man. That's this guy right here.
It's a remnant of the holy Hickman run, the sanctified and unassailable Hickman run of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
so I should have been reading it, but I didn't.
When here's a little bit of a spoiler because you can kind of figure it out since he's alive now. Johnny Storm died, and Fantastic Four was canceled for a while. It was a hiatus, if you will. And in that time, we got the FF, and it was the 3 Fantastic Four and the kids and all the people in the Future Foundation, and it was continuing the story of the Fantastic Four in that. Then the Fantastic Four came back when Johnny came back to life, but there's a reason for it. It's cool. I still recommend it. It's not one. It's when you people were really. Oh, I thought he was going to die. Oh, they bring people back to life all the time. No, this was a part of the story. It wasn't something that was so devastating that you thought it wasn't going to be not overturned eventually.
Marvel, of course, naturally oversold it and hyped it and put it in a poly bag and everything that you would expect them to do. But within the context of the story, it was not a gimmick.
Right. So Jerome Whitley is the writer of Future Foundation, and he has had other books that kind of follow the methodology of Marvel these days. Stop it after X amount of issues and then start it again as a mini series. Sometimes we don't even tell people when we're going to actually cancel the books, but that is something that happens. So it's kind of a bummer. I kind of feel that this guy's tenure at Marvel shouldn't continue. He's not moved. He hasn't sold many books. He's done The Wasp. He's done it a couple times. He's done the younger reader books. But when Marvel had a young readers line and they were in grocery stores, they had a lot of people buying those books. But the sales these days, this isn't even close to getting royalties or even making a blip when it comes to the sales charts. And other companies that are smaller, like IDW, have books that sell better than the Future Foundation. Although maybe not IDW. Probably just Image. Maybe Dark Horse. Marvel's still a beast, but their low-selling lines just don't do that great. Did you... All right, now I'm going to switch this back to normal. All right, stop sharing. There we are. Yay. All right. So there's some news. Uh-oh. I don't know if you can hear that door, but Eugene's here.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Eugene side. Yeah, I heard the door just now.
So, how was your week? That was me.
I went to Carlsbad Caverns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
You ever been?
No, I haven't.
It's a cave.
What's it like?
It's pretty amazing, but at the same time, like I want to go in there when there's nobody in there at all, so that I can actually play around with the sound and stuff like that, because it's not clear exactly how well you could really hear. Like there's no perfect darkness down there, right? They don't turn off the lights or anything, and like I think it would be nice to see that place not see that place in the pitch black. But it was pretty neat, especially from the perspective of wandering around in the Underdark in D&D.
They don't have like a like some sort of special event, like nighttime event thing that they do there, where they do a spooky.
Maybe for Halloween. I'm not that I'm aware of, but I'm not really paying attention to that kind of stuff. I just went. I mean, for Halloween they should do something, right? But it's also a national park, so I don't think they want ding-dongs running around with their children off leash. It's too easy to get killed there. Honest to God, like
at Yosemite, they do nighttime, like guided nighttime things that
would be cool.
Fairly dangerous. Some of them.
Well, I don't know the answer. It would be pretty neat though. In general, I think to go in there.
Hell yeah.
At night in the dark.
Did you meet any bats?
No, I didn't see a single bat. I was like, where do they roost? Where do they roost? Because it's this huge bat cave, and if you're there at like 7 o'clock, they all come flooding out. But didn't see a single one.
They are a superstitious and cowardly lot. The bats. They're scared of everything. They're scared of criminals most of all.
So there's this huge cavern down low. It's like the second chamber or something. I don't remember what they call it, but you get to wander through like this big room, and it's a good little loop that you walk around through there in, and then you can kind of peer over the edge down into a whole nother chamber that's lower. And that one's got no lights in it at all, and like you can barely discern any details whatsoever. So I know in Lechuguilla, the really famous cave that's not open to the public, it's only 4 miles away. So I think there's plenty of avenues for those bats to hang out with or in that we would never be able to find them.
Sure.
And I mean, who wants their sleep disrupted?
Could you have snuck away from the group and just live in the caves forever?
Yeah, I mean, if you were willing to scale that wall and get down to the second chamber, I mean, it'd be a while before anybody found you.
Bring your rappelling gear, man.
Naturally. It doesn't raise any alarm bells when you walk in past the ranger with all that gear on. They're like, oh, hey.
Full of gear.
Hey, yeah, hey, have fun. What could you possibly be up to? That's what I did this week. Which it's in southern New Mexico. It's like 4 hours from here.
Did you? How many days did you do that? Just one?
Yeah, just one. It's not that. It's not all that. It's not that big of a cave. I mean, it's huge, but you walk around it in 2 hours.
Yeah, They don't just give you the run of the place.
Well,
there's a sidewalk with railings and stuff, and you're not supposed to touch anything, and not a single crystal. Not even one. I'm looking for the dark crystal somewhere. Big old purple thing that if you look at it too long, it hypnotizes you and steals your soul. No, not down there.
Nothing like that.
Not down there.
No Eclipso diamond or
no, nothing like out of the ordinary, really. Just a bunch of weird rock shapes.
Helmet of Fate. Nothing like that.
No, nothing like that.
Cross of Coronado.
Ding dongs. We should give out ding dongs as awards.
Ding dongs, that's your thing.
Well, yeah, you can send them through the mail. They don't go bad. I think they probably last forever.
I imagine. I can't tell you last time I had one. I know when I was one. Yesterday. Today. Full ding dong.
All right, I want to go into. I want to let everybody that's talking in chat, especially about the comics. I personally like Secret Empire. I didn't think it was the greatest thing in the world and went a little too long. And then they were talking about Old Man Logan from the Secret Wars. Sorrentino did it. Was it Sorrentino? It was Bendis and Sorrentino. And then it was Jeff Lemire and Sorrentino for a while. And those are very good.
After it came into
The regular
it came into
universe,
our
yeah.
universe.
So that was the thing that happened at the end of Secret Wars was a lot of people from other universes actually came into ours.
Basically took the only good parts of the other universes and folded them in.
Yeah, folded them in. Except for Spider-Gwen. She stayed in her own universe for some reason.
Well, that was pre Spider-Gwen. Spider-Gwen was a Spider-Verse character and not Secret Wars.
Very good. There you go.
I think that was after Secret Wars. I think.
Yeah. See, that's
Secret Wars is 2000.
That's the other thing, man. You know, they do these restarts and stops and restarts and stops and it's a different title, so it's not the same thing. It was X-Men Blue and X-Men Gold and X-Men Red, and it just man, you're asking a lot for a guy that is going to read other books too. And sometimes books too.
I would prefer if they would go back to an idea like the old Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, where it was like, instead of having 3 or 4 Spider-Man titles, we'll have 3 or 4 or 5 Spider-Man writers, and we'll publish the comic book 3 or sometimes 4 times a month, usually just 3. But we'll be rotating teams, and yes, Spider-Man will be available to you every
times
week.
a month, though. That's crazy often.
But it's not
the
crazy
thing is,
because look at how many Spider-Man books there are right now.
You'll
You
see.
have Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. You have Amazing Spider-Man. You have Miles Morales Spider-Man, and then you have the Chip Zdarsky Spider-Man Life in the whatever.
And then there might be the video game one, and then there was something else crossover thing.
So you're already getting Spider-Man.
Don't forget there's Superior Spider-Man and Symbiote Spider-Man miniseries, and there's Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, whatever you calling her these days. You got that. That movie came out. Let's do a little Peter Porker thing.
Whoa.
That was really good, though. That was really good.
It was. That was La Fuente,
That
right?
was La Fuente.
David La Fuente did the art on that. It was really nice looking.
Oh, teaser. David La Fuente teaser. La Fuente coming up soon.
There you go. A little La Fuente. I don't know if I actually have that one here. I'm going to have to get you to dig that one.
I got it.
I just wanted to, and see more Sorrentino. Those are really good books. I know you probably didn't read them, right?
The Old Man Logans. I read all of the Secret Wars tie-ins because I was literally all in on.
All right,
Secret Wars and Jonathan Hickman. I didn't read all of the tie-ins to Secret Empire, but I read the regular book and I hated it. But that's enough about that.
So House of X4 came out last week, right? That was the one that came out. And no, Powers of X.
Yes, Powers.
It was Powers. Damn it.
House 5 is out now.
Yeah, screwed that up. Let me just do this really quick.
Are you making a banner?
Yeah.
Powers of 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Powers of 10. What am I thinking?
It's the same. It's fine. It's fine. It's perfect.
It's not the same.
It is.
It's
Who doesn't know their Roman numerals these days?
I think everybody, right? I mean, unless you're a football fan, maybe, or something like that.
I don't know, man. They're not common anymore.
Arabic numerals.
So, what were we just talking about before that?
X?
Oh, Jesus Christ. We were talking about Secret Wars.
Empire?
That's right.
Secret
So he
Wars.
read all the Secret Wars stuff, and that's good because in Powers of X this last week, Powers of 10 this last week, a lot of people online were having a little bit of a problem with the interpretation of Mr. Sinister. He was seen as very flighty, and there was multiples of them, and it was kind of like, I don't know, they were haphazard, maybe is.
So
I don't know,
not sinister.
I would go so far as to say wacky because like
Wacky.
they're cartoony. They are like Looney Tunes. These Sinister clones because like he's portrayed as a guy who lives alone in a city full of clones of himself who are subservient to him. And so he's a little bit
I like
insane.
that.
He's
That's
also
nice.
constantly genetically tampering with himself and everyone around him.
I think it was the hokiness, though, of him that kind of put some people off on. It's one thing to be a little weird and wacky, but this guy was wacky, you know.
He was also flamboyant.
Yeah, very
say.
flamboyant, and also uncharacteristically was talking about not enjoying capes, and this guy is very well known for having quite. I'm going to share the screen with you.
Right, but that, as we find out,
Was
maybe
not the main-
not
yeah.
the Sinister that
Look at that
we-
cape, though. That's ridiculous. Let me see if we can get this one. There you go.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. Maybe that's not technically a cape, but
Is that a
even-
black and white cape or is it like strips of cape?
Oh, it's strips of
it's
cape.
strips.
It's
Yeah.
famously strips of cape.
Is
That's
that his superpower to keep it in shape?
You know, the
his
funny thing was,
powers are so ill-defined. He
Ill-defined.
makes the Scarlet Witch look like
like
Cyclops.
we know, yeah.
Like we
the
know
thing
him.
about Mr. Sinister was that he's kind of like one of these retcon characters, so that we found out that he's had little bits of things to do in the Scott Summers line of family.
And with Apocalypse going back to the 1800s,
Yeah.
like Apocalypse and he go back to Victorian
Exactly.
times.
All right, I'm gonna switch this back, so beware. All right.
What were
And
they doing
he's
back there?
Obsessed with the Summers line.
Streamers.
Did you hear that?
So yeah. So Mr. Sinister's portrayal put a few people off. And the thing is that since you read it and you're familiar with the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars, how was that Mr. Sinister portrayed?
That was exactly the way. Okay, so Secret Wars, spoilers for a 5-year-old story or 4-year-old story, took place on what was called Battle World, which was basically an amalgamated world that Doctor Doom made out of all of the dying universes of the multiverse because they were all being smashed into one another during the incursion phase of Hickman's Avengers run.
Oh yeah.
And so when he stitched everything together. All of the different worlds were represented by a barony, and they had a baron who reported to Doctor Doom, who sat on a throne made out of the World Tree, and Mr. Sinister was one of the barons, and his barony was called Bar Sinister, and it was a city made out of pinkish, reddish rock that was completely populated by clones of Mr. Sinister, and the Mr. Sinister who was in charge sat on a throne with a white fur over pink rock, just like he does in that issue of Powers of 10. And he had that exact same characterization. Like, he was hilarious to me. I mean, I can see how some people would maybe not think it was so funny because they're used to Mr. Sinister not being like that. But this was a Mr. Sinister from another universe. This was not Earth 616's Mr. Sinister. This is the way that he behaved. He was a weirdo, and he was super funny. And then he ended up fighting Jamie Braddock to the death and getting his head chopped off at one point.
That's right.
Like, later on, he gets his head chopped off and then keeps living as just a decapitated head. But anyway, everything about it was reminiscent of that. And I don't know if it's just because that's what Jonathan Hickman thought was a really fun version of Mr. Sinister. So he was like, this is my version, and that's what I'm always writing. Or if we're supposed to infer that this is not our Earth.
Well, there is that. Obviously, we have 4 more issues to go we have 5566, so 4 more issues. Whew, what a ride it's going to be. I also heard that the X-Men series that he's going to be writing with Lionel Yu doing the art, supposedly they're going to be standalone issues. So that's rather exciting also.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
do we know how long that's supposed to go?
that book, that X-Men book, well, we know he has like years to put in for this.
And there's
So
also
it's gonna be
he's
a while.
co-writing the New Mutants.
He's going to be co-writing the New Mutants also. He'll be doing the first 6 issues of that, and I think it was Ed Brisson is writing that.
I think so.
And if that's the case, that's a pretty good writer. He
did those X-Forces recently that
he
were
did
really
X-Force recently. He also did the Old Man Logans after Lemire left. Those are very good also. He just kind of continued what was going on, and he finished it up quite well, I thought.
Stop me if I'm wrong, but did you just say that Jeff Lemire wrote Old Man Logan?
Yeah.
You're wrong, but not about that.
Wait, I'm wrong?
No, I was stopping ATN.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wrong on lots of things, but
not about
I
that.
had
Jeff.
no idea.
Yeah, he wrote it.
That
Was Bendis wrote a miniseries on Old Man Logan. All right, so there's Old Man Logan way back in the day. That was Mark Miller and Steve McNiven. And then there was Secret Wars, Old Man Logan, Battle Zones. And that was Bendis and Sorrentino. And then Sorrentino and Lemire, who do Gideon Falls together, they did like, I forget what they said in chat, but like 20-something issues. And then after that, Ed Brisson came on with Diodato doing the art.
Sorrentino did all 20-something issues? I mean, I would believe it.
Yeah, something like that.
I think
it might have been a couple people in between. But
they're one of those,
you know,
Sorrentino is one of those artists like Diodato, where they can get it done. It's just not my cup of tea.
I like Sorrentino. I enjoy the way he puts the panels together, and it's I
noticed it more in Gideon Falls.
Yeah, he does it also. Like he would do that in the Old Man Logan, where you have this big old splash fight scene, and then there's the square, the rectangular square, just a fist,
totally,
or maybe just some claws, and then snicked, and yeah, it's pretty cool. He's does really arty style when it comes to putting those together. It is very
it's not the most dynamic,
computery. I don't know what I mean. Again, not an artist there, but yeah, Sorrentino. Okay, but Gideon Falls, excellent stuff. I am 1 issue behind, and if you remember, that was quite some stuff.
But it's like, if you're gonna say Sorrentino, can Sorrentino get it done like in the way that LaRocca can get it done?
Man,
LaRocca can get it done, and I used to say, like, of the people who can get it done like that, LaRocca's not bad, but LaRocca's X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, was not my cup of tea.
No, especially the most recent one. I mean, he's done a lot of X-Men
I now
stuff.
think of the dudes who can like consistently get a chunk of issues done, Diodato is my favorite.
Whew. Yeah, well, Diodato. I have a lot of conversations here in the store. Some people really like him. A lot of people, I mean, there is a lot of people that also don't like him. It's kind of like 50-50 sometimes. He does, he has a style. He's definitely perfected it. It is, it's yeoman work, and it's better than some. And he can draw good. He definitely puts good panel work together. He doesn't stink. And if you haven't seen his stuff before, it feels very exciting also.
That's high praise, man. He doesn't stink.
Well,
Hey,
some
come
people.
on. We're
talking
about workmen here.
So I was talking to somebody who is from Image, and when I had heard
Name names.
No, I'm not gonna name names this time. It's just Image is the name. Image. All right, guys. Here's a scoop.
It was Eric Lawson.
It was. I said, hey, Mike Diodato is going to be doing some creator-owned work. Is he going to come over and do Image? He's like, I hope not. Hilarious.
Does that imply he doesn't have enough say to keep him away?
I don't know if anybody has. I mean, they could say that they don't want something, but if
They're all
someone's
about making money ultimately, aren't they?
yeah, well, I mean, they can only make so much since they don't own anything, so they're not really turning away people that have a built-in audience like a Mike Diodato. That was Berserker Unbound, by the way, and it's written by Jeff Lemire, drawn by Diodato,
and published by
Dark Horse.
Ah, the second biggest company in
Jeff
comics.
Lemire's Home Away from Home.
So maybe we should start talking about some comic books that came, or some reviews. What do you
Now,
think?
do you think they're trying to make Jeff Lemire the new Mike Mignola? Because Mike Mignola is not going to be around forever.
He isn't.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, is Dark Horse trying
To get Jeff Lemire to be like Dark Horse legend? Like, who do they got left? Like, who's their big gun? Mike Mignola. He's their big gun in terms
Do
of.
people care about Mike Mignola for
They don't even
storytelling or for drawing?
Or what?
He doesn't
drawing.
draw.
He
doesn't
barely
draw.
draws anymore.
That's fine, but when you look at Mike Mignola,
He has
that's
barely drawn at all. He's drawn a handful of issues in the last 15 years. Maybe
that's fine, but he's a visual representation. He's not a written representation, right?
Well, he's writing a lot of the stuff that is being published under his banner. He's writing it or co-writing it at the worst.
Right.
All right.
Best
Well,
or
he's
worst.
just very he's very iconic looking though.
Well, yeah, and of course he's always going to be drawing Hellboy covers forever, even if he's not drawing the insides.
Yeah, why wouldn't he?
Because no. There's no reason not to. He's trying to sell his stuff. But I'm saying
money.
they don't want to. They need to diversify their portfolio, and they have backed the Black Hammer brand very strongly.
Yeah.
Right? They've practically gone full BPRD on that thing. Like, they're just like, anything you want to write and get anybody to draw it, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hey Yule, who's the picture holding up the sign that says you suck?
Let's see if anybody in chat can figure it out first, and then I'll give you.
Chat was asking.
Oh, they were. Okay, well, here's my hint.
Where's the picture?
It's on YouTube. It is a man of action.
Oh,
That's
I know it.
Superman.
I know it.
You can't say.
And you would be
Yeah.
right to think that, Fantinuum. That's
What-
pretty
what is
fair
it
from a
think?
distance.
They're making Jason Aaron the new. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know if Jason. He might be not necessarily that guy anymore. Jason. So the comment by Hero Fall here is that they're making Jason Aaron the new Bendis for Marvel right now. And I have to think
that was a couple years ago. They tried to do it, but they've taken their foot off of the Jason Aaron gas.
I think they have just a little bit.
Why would they do that?
You know, the problem with Jason Aaron right now is that he's had two kind of floppy events as far as I'm concerned. I liked War of the Realms, but it wasn't the favorite thing I've ever read. And if you think about how I felt about Thor back in the God Butcher days, and even after the God Butcher days, it was really exciting, and I couldn't wait to get to this moment. But when we finally got there, I mean, there wasn't a lot of Thor in the main
I
series.
have a hard time blaming him for the problem with War of the Realms, which was not his problem. I don't necessarily think. I think it was. I don't know. Maybe he pitched it as, let's do this as a line-wide event that ties into every corner of the Marvel Universe, rather than let's just keep this as a story in Thor and the Asgard-related books and like the Avengers, which plenty of events are able to seclude themselves into corners of the universe. Like, look at Absolute Carnage right now. It's got 1,000 things going on, but it is in its own little corner. It's not infecting every single book. It's got a lot of minis. It's got a lot of one shots. I just feel like they didn't have to do it. They didn't have to go so big with it. I don't know if they thought they were rewarding him for his long-term story, but the War of the Realms story was a drawn-out nightmare already, frankly. It was the least interesting part of the Thor run for like a year, and it was going on the whole time as like a second story.
Right.
Most of the time. Like it was in the background, or it was like occasionally in the foreground, but it was just too much. It was, I don't know.
You know, the other thing about his
editorial
Thor
problem
run,
again.
the other thing with his Thor one is that that Dario guy or whatever, the guy who turns into a Minotaur.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, that was kind of weird too, always I felt. And he's like, oh, these people are running my company, but they said something stupid to me and I ate their head. And it's just I don't know. He was kind of a dumb character, and I really liked the whole Roxxon Corporation, like kind of polluting the elf lands. That
when they were like mining all the realms.
That was cool
part
stuff.
of the War of the Realms, the beginning of the War of the Realms story. That was cool. I agree. That
was
very good.
But I don't know, man. It just that character was kind of a little wacky. Sometimes you want your villain. I mean, he was hardcore. I mean, like I said, he'd bite his assistants' heads off, no big deal.
But it would be in a comedic way.
It was often very comedic, yeah.
Which is fine, and I think that Jason Aaron he mixes comedy in really well. I just think that he's been doing it a lot more lately. Maybe the last 4 or so years of his Marvel work has been trending toward the wacky side.
Yeah.
Whereas his Ghost Rider...
Can you make your image big, please?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Yeah.
I'll try.
I still like Jason Aaron. I mean, his...
can you just make it so it's the only thing?
His biggest sin is original sin.
His biggest sin is original sin.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. All right, you can see Eugene Eaton in the background.
Hey,
Wait
Eugene.
for it. There you go.
What do you eat?
I think he's got barbecue or something. He brought some beans. You can see a statue I'm selling tomorrow.
They're good for the heart.
What do you think of that? Do you know who that is, ATN?
No idea.
You don't know who that is, really?
Why would I?
Why would you?
Why would
That's
I?
ScarJo, the original ScarJo.
That's right, the original one.
Who?
Look at that. It's a Scarlet from G.I. Joe.
Scarlet, the G.I. Joe.
She shoots a
crossbow.
She shoots a crossbow. And this
sorry,
is
I left G.I. Joe in the past.
Oh, I see. Can you see my dog?
Yeah.
Right above me.
Yeah.
He's following the food. Okay, so let's talk about some comic books. You want to talk about some comic books?
Can't do it.
These guys.
Better warn him.
No, it's all right. He knows.
He knows that
You're
he's
like your
half
chin
on
is
camera.
There you go.
Lean away. Lean away.
Scoot your chair a little bit.
Yeah, scoot.
All right. Anyway, hey, I read a ton of DC comics this last week.
Hey, Yule, is this guy the guy that has the glasses that are just the little slits to keep him from going snowblind?
Yeah, of course. Captain Cold.
Captain Cold.
The Captain.
The Captain.
Cold.
Okay.
Snart.
So yeah, Snart. I can't remember his first name now. Someone in chat help me out. Anyway, this story is a continuation of some of the prior issues. I guess it had some. This was the year 1 story, I think. Anyway, this is the conclusion of it. It was pretty good. I've been putting aside Flash for a while, and I just kind of said, you know what, I haven't read it in so long. I think I'll just pick this up and see how it is. And the reason why is this is a Year of the Villain tie-in, as you can see right there. This is the offer. And basically, for those of you that don't know, the offer is the last 2 pages of the book. And in the last 2 pages of the book, Lex Luthor comes to these people and he says, I've got a deal for you. And in this one, he does that with Captain Cold. Captain Cold.
I'm gonna make you the coldest.
Yeah,
captain
but this
you
is
could possibly
not a
make.
story about Captain Cold. This is a story about the Flash, and he's fighting the Turtle. The Turtle is from the future, and he can slow down time,
Mitch
which is
McConnell?
like something that the Flash doesn't want to happen because he moves so fast.
Oh, he hates slow stuff.
Yeah, he
That's
hates it
like
slow.
his kryptonite.
There's a line in here where he's like, "Oh, the hare is going to finally beat the turtle." Anyway, this is a pretty good book. I really like the art. Howard Porter, we've talked about him in the past and how he's overcome adversity, and I think he's doing his best work without a doubt. Anyway,
Wait, I can't wait till he starts drawing with his foot.
I
He's
know.
gonna be
Wait till
amazing.
if he ever has to draw with his foot, it should be great. Anyway, this was a pretty good one. I'm going to read the next issue, but I haven't yet. That's the one with Flash in a snow globe. It continues the Year of the Villain, and I think it's Dark Gifts. So I haven't read any of the Dark Gifts yet.
.gifs?
GIF, yeah. GIFs, yes.
Oh, no.
Dark GIFs.
No.
Anyway, this is a Detective 1008. Let me just get that for you. There's been 1,008 issues of these, and you got to ask yourself, how can they keep it fresh? Well, I'll tell you how they're going to do it. They're going to give us a Joker story. Yeah, everybody. Everybody loves the Joker. Anyway, we have a cool Brian Hitch cover. This is another Year of the Villain. This is the offer.
That is.
We have
Brian
Doug
K. Vaughan.
Monkey doing the artwork inside. And Peter Tomasi is the writer. And I like Tomasi a lot.
They're a good team.
In this issue, Batman has to stop the Joker from poisoning
Whoa.
carnival.
Let me stop you right there. Batman has to stop the Joker?
Yeah, well, he wants to stop it. And like it's great. He gets there and he just like
I'm guessing he doesn't. He doesn't do it. He doesn't stop him.
all these
Joker
people,
wins.
these poor
Everyone
people.
goes.
So you can
laughing
see
crazy.
how he clicks his little pendant right here, and everybody in the park has them on their necks.
Well, and they look like Tilly
And then
from Asbury Park.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah, that's
Asbury
right.
Park from New
represent.
Jersey. But I think this whole thing is in reference to the park that he bought in Killing Joke. Personally, I could be wrong, but I don't care either. Anyway, like Batman really messes with him up. The first thing he does is he throws a batarang in his arm.
Ouch.
Joker gets a little flippant with him, and so then he gets punched in the face by Batman.
He's a bully.
And yeah, he's totally bullying him. Anyway, Joker takes him on a ride through the amusement park, and Batman has to, save the day.
I mean, luckily, getting beaten up by Batman is the Joker's kink, so it's not really
Without a doubt. It's played up in this one like that, I feel. Anyway, here we have, so that was Captain Cold. Now we have Professor Freeze. That's Fries. And I want everybody to remember that, is it Professor Freeze? Mr. Freeze, Jesus Christ. Professor, Captain, Mr. All right, so we have Mr. Freeze. He was a sympathetic villain in the old days, especially
Bruce Timm.
Bruce
right?
Timm, that's where we really got into. I mean, it's been before, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it Paul Dini?
Yeah, Paul Dini. We're talking about Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, he didn't make that up. That whole.
I don't think he did. I think that was in like
villain
some
angle.
annual also.
A really well done version of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Became famous.
Yeah.
Cool.
I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Anyway, he gets the offer at the end of this book from Lex Luthor. The thing about Mr. Freeze, so for those of you that don't know, he lost his wife. She's in a coma, and he keeps her on ice
too, but he loses everything.
He loses everything. She is on ice, so to speak, and he's trying to find a cure for her. Stick around.
She's on the ice.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're talking about him without talking about Rob Liefeld, because I have it queued up. Anyway, so the thing is in the New 52, they kind of redid the Professor or the Mr. Freeze character. And he no longer is married to the woman who's in a coma, but he is like infatuated with her.
He's a creep.
And he never had any relationship with her whatsoever.
Just a creeper.
Yeah, he's a creeper. All right. There you go. Detective 1008. Great art, really fun story. If you like the Joker and you haven't got it, this is definitely one. You don't have to worry about this whole Year of the Villain tie-in stuff, but it's pretty good. All right. So Wonder Woman number 75 is next. Look at that cover. Can you guess who's going to get the offer in this one?
Linda Carter.
Yes. Lex Luthor comes to Linda Carter and he says, how would you like to get back at those producers that made you wear those outfits? This is a G. Willow Wilson written Wonder Woman. I've only read the first issue of her run. And again, I was reading all these offer issues. So I thought, yeah, I'll read this one, see how it is. This is, again, a continuation from the story that was going on prior. I guess Grail, who is Darkseid's daughter, is in control of Themyscira.
Who the mama?
She says she has Hippolyta held captive, and she has other Amazonians that turn traitor to her cause, Grail's cause.
Who's Darkseid's baby mama?
I don't.
With this one, I mean, obviously Calabac, different mama.
Different mama. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Orion,
Anyhow,
different mama.
Different mama.
He gets around.
Well, there's been stories about Darkseid.
Only his daughter looks like him, though. Is that weird? Are those other ones the milkman's babies?
Damn.
Calabac.
I would not want to be
brutal milkman.
I would not want to be the milkman on Apocalypse if that was the case. So anyway, we have Dimension Chi, I guess is what it's called. Chicago. Dimension Chicago. And that's where the rest of the Amazonians are in hiding. And a lot of this issue is talking about preparing these people for war. But when you prepare people for war, the first thing you want to do is dance. And that's kind of what's going on. And anyway, there is a big fight at the end. I don't want to spoil it for you, but ultimately it goes well for the Amazonians. And Cheetah gets an offer at the end. It was a pretty good issue. I feel bad that I haven't read Wonder Woman for a while, so this was a good issue to jump on, even though it was the end of a storyline. And I like the fact that Grail, she was kind of lame at first, but she's been put in the Wonder Woman villain, her rogues gallery, and I actually like it. It's nice that she has a newer character that she can someone who can take some punches from her.
You don't have to go back to the Cheetah literally every single time.
Exactly.
Where it's like Cheetah, Ares, Cheetah, Ares.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was nice that they were able to introduce that character for Wonder Woman. There was when Wonder Woman this was when James Robinson was writing it. It was all right. When he was writing it, he introduced a new brother, and that was like Jason of the Argonauts. It was Wonder Woman's brother. Well, Zeus was getting around, remember, in the New 52.
Let's not remind me about how Zeus is Wonder Woman's father in the New 52. But not in Rebirth, right?
I don't know if Rebirth cancels everything. If it cancels everything out, then Mr. Freeze might not be a creeper.
Oh.
All right, so there you go.
Come on, Dr. Manhattan.
All right, next up,
don't fail me now.
Year of the Villain, the Riddler. Now, you didn't read all this one, right?
Riddler. No, I didn't.
This is Michael Janin cover. It's written by Mark Russell, and it has art by Scott Godalewski. I thought it was pretty good issue, just to let you know. It starts off with King Tut, who has a little darker complexion than what originally, especially on the TV show.
Steve Martin.
No,
The
wrong
original
King
Steve
Tut.
Martin King
no,
Tut?
wrong King Tut. The other King Tut, the fat one.
Oh,
The guy who's that
Right,
fat
yeah.
King Tut, yeah. And the Riddler are sitting in King Tut's restaurant called Scarabs. And it's basically a bitch fest with the Riddler saying, why didn't Lex Luthor come and give me an offer? And he actually has a conversation in the middle of the book with Lex Luthor, and ultimately it comes down to, I didn't give you a gift
Offer.
because you don't, or I don't have an offer for you. I don't have something to give you because you don't know who you really are. And until then, nothing, you're just going to, squander it basically. And later on, King Tut and Riddler team up to take out Batman, and Riddler comes to a conclusion. And I don't want to spoil it because Jeff hasn't read it and maybe other people haven't. But this is a pretty darn good one-shot issue exploring the character of the Riddler. I liked it a lot. Did you know he had a branded tattoo on his chest of a question mark?
Oh, of a question mark. Now that's
What?
surprising. I mean, no.
I don't
did not know
remember that happening.
But I will say this. I like Mark Russell a lot. And I think I've already talked about this in previous weeks, but he's good. His superhero stuff is good. His funny. What was that Bible comic that he did with Jason Wheeler? The Bible.
Oh,
that was just the Bible.
not Jason Wheeler. Shannon Wheeler.
Shannon Wheeler.
Shannon Wheeler
Who's
of Too Much
Jason Wheeler?
Coffee Man fame. I want you to just take a look that we have Hero Falls saying, what's Wonder Woman's best story? I will tell you. It was Volume 2, 175, when Phil Jimenez was writing it and doing the art. But Phil Jimenez is an artist and doesn't really write. So there were a lot of other scripters coming on the book. And the one that wrote this one was Joe Kelly. And that's who's holding up that picture right there of saying you'll suck, or holding that you'll suck sign.
Who also happened to be the writer of your
favorite
Superman
action story. Yeah, Superman story, which was Action 775. So the Wonder Woman story was a interview that Lois Lane was getting from Wonder Woman. And it's all written as what she's thinking, and it's very reporter-like. And there are some things that are added in that it's just magical. It's really good. Excuse you. All right. And then last but not least, we have House of X, or Powers of X. Yeah, Powers of X. And we talked about it a little already. This guy's going to die. All right, so Powers of X. This jumps through time. We have that Mr. Sinister bit we were telling you about, where this guy is like, I don't like capes, and then someone comes and kills him. Another Mr.
All of this is straight out of
The Secret Wars.
Yeah, this throne is exactly the same as his throne in Secret Wars.
And so the attention to detail.
And look at how pissed he is.
He is pissed. Yeah. Anyway, Professor X and Magneto come and have a conversation with Mr. Sinister. They give him some ideas and then say, we're going to take it away from you. We'll get back to you when we need to. And then we have Doug Ramsey and Professor X going to the island of Krakoa. This is 10 years after what we just saw, or current day as we like to think of it. And this is when Professor X is basically saying, hey, can you learn Krakoa's language? And then Krakoa tells Doug the story that he relays about his origin and how he actually has another brother or another island sibling. Krakoa is a mutant, but it's also an island. And we are introduced originally to this character in Giant-Sized X-Men #1. Xavier recruits a brand new team to go rescue the old team that got captured on that island. What we didn't know, this is a retcon, this is from Ed Brubaker days, there was actually another team that the professor got together before the Giant-Sized X-Men team, the new X-Men, the ones with Wolverine, and Colossus, and Aurora, and Cyclops. This one had Cyclops' younger brother. Well, they're all younger. Gabriel, who we probably will see future issues of X-Men. Anyway, this is all about that story. It was pretty cool. And then we have a future story. Oh, there was one scene I want to point out if I can get to it. Let's see. Doug passes by some leaves, and they turn techno-organic, not unlike Warlock, not unlike his arm. It seems like they're still a little... Not unlike Cable. Yeah, exactly. And then our last storyline in this in this issue is the future. There's a big old conversation going on between who? The librarian and I don't know. The Phalanx. It's different, and I don't know exactly what it all meant, but basically these are our villains in the future.
Maybe. But if they are, then potentially we also just infiltrated the villains if we're willing to think that the librarian is the hero. We don't know anything about this future.
Yeah.
Because, like, the librarian is followed around by a little floating robot who is the future version of Nimrod.
Right.
So I have no idea whether to think that the librarian is, like, who we're supposed to think of as the hero of this future. Who knows? No idea. No idea.
We don't know.
But I'm loving it.
Okay, guys, let's get on to previews because we've been spending a lot of time talking. So what do you think of that Scarlet statue now? You enjoying it? ATN's not listening.
I am listening. I didn't know you were talking to me.
I'm just joking. Anyhow, these are previews for tomorrow. New comic book day, everybody. That's the 18th. We have the Agents of Wakanda. Oh, excuse me. We have Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda. This is got Kazar and Gorilla Man and Black Panther and I don't know, is that Shuri and Wasp? Anyway, they had to put Black Panther on it because, you know, he's the main Wakandan that everybody cares about. I like it. I want to read this just because Kazar's in it. I haven't really seen him. Oh, Jim Zub's writing it. All right, you got to support Canadians.
Roz Solomon is the primary agent of Wakanda, isn't she? Is she going to appear in the...
Oh, you know what? I see this little shield ship or almost shield ship. Maybe that is her.
Might be in there.
So there you go, Roz. There's a bunch of, that's the thing, put a bunch of characters together. Maybe it'll be cool. Savage Avengers, Agents of Wakanda. We have seen Gorilla Man actually dealing with Black Panther in Avengers, which is a Jason Aaron book. Oh boy, I could potentially see some sort of crossover someday if this lasts long enough.
Sure.
As of yet, it's not a miniseries.
I really like this art, though.
Yeah, Lan Medina does the art. Let's look inside for a second. Let me get this out. Oh, Party City. Look at that. There you go. Oh, and a Stanley. There you go. It's a little bit more.
It's not bad at all.
No, Lan Medina's good. All right, next up we have Superman number 15. This is Brian Michael Bendis, and Ivan Reis is still doing 15 consecutive. This is not a maxi series. This is not a mini series. This isn't creator owned. 15 monthly issues in a row. And bravo.
He's not like some rush him out Mark Bagley type.
No, not at all. This is we've said it in the past. This is pretty much what DC considers their Jim Lee, even though they have Jim Lee.
Yeah, but no,
Jim Lee can't do 15 issues in a row. Never could.
True, and he definitely never could now. I mean, he never would.
Yeah, exactly. Superman, the last issue ended with Legion of Superheroes showing up. We found out that the decision that happened at the end of last issue was the thing that was going to change everything going forward. And that includes the Legion showing up. So Legion fans rejoice. The last issue of this before the second issue and then the start of their new series starts, so.
Did you see that Matter Eater lad redesign though?
not too keen on a lot of these costumes.
Come on, man. He's
I don't know.
got
I
the
haven't
big
checked out.
old mutton chop mustache.
Of
man.
course he does.
Like a
Oh, look,
biker
there's
mustache.
is that Commander Adam Strange or something like that? Anyway, there you go. There's your Legion spread. Everybody be happy. Anyway, Legion of Superheroes are some of my favorite characters in the DCU. I'm not usually a space fan or a future fan, but I don't know. It always seemed to work. And now that is his name Connor Kent now? No, that's the other one. I can't remember. Is it Con L? Is it right? I don't know what the hell he is.
Who? Which one?
Oh, John Kent. I'm sorry, he's John Kent.
Jonathan. Yeah.
Yeah, John Kent
son
is now a 15-year-old because he's super aged in space, and now he can have adventures with the Legion because that's how it used to be, Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. So this comes out tomorrow.
But what about our old boy Superboy, who was the clone of Lex and Superman?
That's Connor,
he's
right?
gone, right? He's never coming back.
He was in the New 52. I don't know what happened to him, though. He had his own series, remember?
Dr. Manhattan.
Anyway.
Yeah, Jeff Lemire wrote it. I remember it.
Hey, Rick. Hey, Morty. Anyway, Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons. This is a Fantinuum a book if there ever was one. There's plenty of covers, so he'll be happy about that.
Only really smart nerds will like this book.
Yeah, exactly. So the first one did really, really well for us. We had to get multiple copies after the fact.
This is Jim Zub.
Jim Zub is writing it again. We've got that Canadian thing going, and he is a fan of Dungeons and Dragons.
Did the first one have what's that?
Patrick Rothfuss was helping write that. Yeah. He's not back. No, this is Troy Little doing the art though, and he's pretty good.
He's not big.
He's not big, he's little, but he's a little big. Anyway, if you're a fan of Rick and Morty, these are usually very good at capturing the voices of the characters. And if you're a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, they're going to have a hilarious send-up. Or at least I expected so.
Do you recognize that cloak?
Which cloak? The one with all the eyes? Is it just the cloak of eyes or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's it from first edition.
Is it Eyeboy's robe?
It's Eyeboy's robe.
The robe of Eyeboy.
All right.
Oh, what if Eyeboy became Sorcerer Supreme? Just Agamotto eyes all over his entire body.
He got
Agamottotized.
Yeah. So next up we have coming from the pages of Heroes in Crisis, we have Flash Forward. We can finally find out what happened to Wally West. Hopefully Scott Lobdell can explain what happened in Heroes in Crisis because I didn't care. I read it and it just went in my brain and out my brain immediately. I kind of threw it up actually. But I am a Wally West fan.
They're all
not so much to where I think I really care about reading this, especially if Scott Lobdell's writing it. Brett Booth is doing the art. I think he's pretty good. Oh, damn. That's that dude from Sideways. This guy right here. Yeah, it is.
Rockefort.
Yeah, well, that was his character. It looks like him, but it's Brett Booth doing it.
Oh.
Anyway, so there you go.
Wait, 90s Brett Booth?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's been doing DC stuff for a long time now.
Yeah.
Just kind of hidden.
Yeah.
You know, like do you read Nightwing?
They basically tap all of 90s people have. I mean, Scott Lobdell was writing this book, so.
Well, yeah,
this
exactly.
Is a 90s book.
This is a 90s book. This is as 90s as you get. Maybe with better paper.
I mean, Wally West, who was the Flash of the 90s.
Yeah. I got to say, I love that Wally West. I love that Flash. I mean,
this Wally West?
Well, not this one that commits suicide or kills people or something like that, but the one that was married to Linda and had kids was a fun interpretation.
The old 52.
The old 52, yeah. That Wally West.
Jeff Johns, Mark Waid.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of a crybaby in the New Teen Titans, and he was like, oh, Raven doesn't like me. She used her powers to make me join the team, blah, blah, blah. But, overall, once he got out of that, he was pretty cool dude.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I liked him. He was a comic relief for a while in some Justice League comics.
He was definitely in the cartoons also.
Yeah. And
All
even
right.
in like, wasn't he in Justice League Europe for a while? Wally West? Maybe I'm wrong.
I can't remember. I didn't read as much
Probably
of
Flash was too big for that. Even him.
that. So I'm really excited about this next book. This is
What is it?
called Inferior 5. This is the alternate cover by Jeff Lemire.
That's out.
He
Why
is
is that not
writing
in-
this along with Keith Giffen, who is doing the art.
Stop the show. We got to stop the show because this wasn't in my pull list. Stop
Yeah.
the show so I can buy this book.
Oh,
And then
damn.
we'll resume in 5
All right,
minutes.
well, we'll be right back, guys. Hold on a second. So Keith Giffen is usually a 9-panel page guy. As of yet, I haven't seen one.
He invented.
He
the
didn't
nine-panel
invent
page.
it.
Yep, that's what I've heard.
Anyway, he's doing most of the artwork in here.
I mean, a rumor has it that he copied it from the Brady Bunch opening scene.
He's very
but-
stylized, and he has a lot of Kirby in him. But he's like one of my favorite creators, Keith Giffen. And he's teaming up with Jeff Lemire, who's pretty much one of my favorite creators right now. And I don't care what they're doing, but it's the Inferior 5. We get some Peacemaker. I think that's the Jeff Lemire piece at the end that he's doing. And I really don't know what it's about. It's probably only going to go 6 to 10 issues because that's what happens with Keith Giffen books. But, you just ride this until the end, and that's what I'm going to do.
We don't get Jeff Lemire art anymore, really.
We do, and he's got some other stuff that he's doing. Usually it's when it's something that's
He did
important to him.
He did that Scott Snyder thing.
Well,
he
yeah,
drew
he
and
did
Scott
that
Snyder
AD
drew.
one.
Right.
Yeah, well, he did that. He also did, so his creator-owned stuff a lot of times.
But
So,
has he ever drawn any Black Hammer?
yeah, on the annual, I think he did some of the pages.
Cool.
He's done some covers of that, but overall, he hasn't drawn any of it. He's also, when he does creator stuff like Underwater Welder,
Sure.
and
That's like 5 years ago.
well, a couple years ago, he did that hockey story, Roughneck, I think is what it was called, and that
Right.
was really good. And he has something
So,
else
yeah.
that he's been working on.
So he's
that's
a
going to be
total
coming out.
Mignola, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, exactly.
He works
He's Dark
on
Horse's
his own
Mignola.
like
There you go.
personal stuff. He draws it, and everything else he just writes. But he does write for other companies, not just Dark Horse.
No,
Yeah,
DC.
thank God he's doing this.
Uh-huh.
And
Is he doing something for Marvel again soon?
I don't know, but he's doing that Dennis Cohen and Bill Sienkiewicz
Question for the Black Label.
Yeah,
And he's doing a Joker for the Black Label with Sorrentino. And of course, they do get involved. Anyway, this guy, man, if you are like at a loss for trying to figure out what new comics to purchase, I recommend just hanging out with Jeff Lemire for a few minutes. I mean, his comics, and you'll have one of everything to choose from. If you want a slice of life story, check out Royal City. That was an Image comic that he did.
Oh yeah, and he drew that.
He drew that, yeah.
I really
Tomorrow,
like his art, although I can see how it's not like mainstream superhero comic art.
no, not at all.
Although I would love to see that.
I'm sure we'll see it. I mean, yeah, we'll see it.
I hope so. I would love to see, like, we are ripe for a DC doing a Bizarro comics or Marvel doing a Strange Tales. One of those where they like get weirdo indie comic artists to do stuff.
Ooh, speaking of
Like an
weirdo
anthology.
indie artists doing stuff, Daniel Warren Johnson, who did Extremity,
Yeah.
and also recently did Murder Falcon, is going to be doing a Black Label Wonder Woman series.
I'm all the way in for that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
and it should look really good. Anyhow, let's do this. Year of the Villain has another one shot. We get Lex Luthor, Apex Lex. He died, came back to life, and has the answers to save us from the broken source wall.
And he's got Martian DNA all up in his guts.
Yeah, he does. So this should be interesting. It's written by Jason Latour, who was mostly the artist on Southern Bastards. He's done other things that he's written. What was that crime one that he did? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
A loose change, loose something, loose bullets,
Loose bullets. I think it was loose bullets.
something like that.
But he also
Oh, he wrote Spider-Gwen, didn't
Yeah,
he?
totally.
Yeah,
He wrote
with
Spider-Man
Robbie
with
Rodriguez doing the art.
whole really long run
This
of
is
Robbie
great,
Rodriguez after he went blind.
I'm looking forward to this. This is Brian Hitch art. Look at that page. That's just wonderful.
It's pretty.
Yeah, so this will be fun. If you're a Superman fan or Lex Luthor, this is one for you. All right, now I'm going to show you some alternate covers. This is the Spider-Man miniseries written by J.J. Abrams
And
his son Henry,
And
with art by Sarah Pichelli. This is a variant cover. I thought I'd show it to you.
Sarah
pretty
Pichelli is
cool.
no joke. Okay,
She's no joke.
the
She's
real
good.
deal.
I did not like anything she did on that Fantastic Four. She did about 2.5 issues worth. And I think that pretty much proves that she just didn't have her heart in it.
Yeah, but maybe she.
And maybe
she
I was
only
right
likes,
that it just
maybe
sucked.
she only likes.
Maybe she
Spider-Man.
only can do a Spider-Man this first one. Anyway, Sarah Pichelli's great. There's
I'm
supposed
sorry,
to
I only
be
care about
a
Spider-Man.
new character introduced. Here's another cover. This is the one that everybody saw. This is a
the
weird
one
cover.
that will get damaged by living
No.
on shelves of the. No,
This is the one.
oh,
that one. Just look at
My
Mary
bad.
Jane. She's going to slip off his leg right there. He's not even holding on to her. I don't think his legs are where his like spider adhesive feet. You know, I don't think it works that way. Oh, and here's a die cut cover.
This is the one.
This
I'm
is
talking
great.
about.
Look at
This is
that.
the one that you're going to want to hold on to and put into a bag because in 20 years, every copy is going to have a torn cover.
Right there is where it's going to tear.
Yep.
Right there is where it's going to tear, and it just might split altogether. Anyway, there you go.
Not that anyone.
This is,
will ever
like
care
I said,
about
a
this
5-issue
comic anyway.
miniseries.
They never will. It will never matter. But just telling
It
you,
won't matter.
these will have ripped covers.
Further devaluing my Daredevil 181, we have a facsimile copy of it, complete with the ads. Complete with the ads that came that day. Sometimes I have
That's awesome.
PTSD when I see stuff like this. Like I've seen this Lone Ranger ad so many times, and now I'm seeing it again.
Yeah, that Lone Ranger ad is. I mean, I've seen it flashed into the back of backing
boards, yes, because they never got. How much? I got some comics to sell. How much do you think you might want to give me? Well, it depends on what the comic is, and it depends on the condition. Oh, those are all in bags and boards.
They're perfect.
They're perfect. Yeah, I've had a lot of bags and boards that.
When did you put them
Yeah,
in?
exactly.
How many bags and boards have they been in?
So this
one
is a comic that I read quite easily 150 times. This is awesome. This has the Punisher in prison escaping, and that's, oh man, those are some cool ads.
Yeah, if you like the Daredevil TV show season 2, you will love this issue of comics.
This is the best, man. This is spoiler alert. So we've got Bullseye in prison, and then he walks past Frank Castle, who's in prison also. That's what happens. And he escapes, and he has his whole plan and how he knows how he's going to be able to escape. So he gets these migraine headaches, Bullseye does, and he fakes an injury, and they're going to give him a pill. And oh my God, this is so good. He spits it in this cop's eye who shoots him. He gets his chain broken, and he's beating the shit out of everybody. And then he puts the cop in the cage, and he just blows him away. Oh my God. Bullseye takes out Elektra. This is a very, very powerful issue. If you've never read it, I highly recommend it. This is really good. Frank Miller at his best. Story art, it's just like it's a 10 all the way across. And then we have House of X. So this is the normal cover, except it doesn't have X on it. Powers of X, I mean. Or whatever the hell this is. House of X. And we got a neat Apocalypse cover. This is 1 in 100 right here. That's how many copies minimum we're ordering now for the store because this book is doing so well. So whereas before I wasn't ordering this, now I can.
So is that
Cool,
for
huh?
you?
No, I don't care about that stuff. This is another cover of House of X that you could choose from. That's pretty cool. It's all the Savage Land images. And then last but not least, we have a collection.
Wow.
This is Flaming Carrot comics. This is an omnibus. It skips a couple issues that I assume don't matter. They might have Cerebus in them for some or something like that. Some other person's character. Anyway, this is Bob Burden, the late Bob Burden. He was a drunk.
Great.
Yeah, I dig Flaming Carrot a lot. I've never read all of the issues, but the ones I've read are super cool. The one I really liked is the one where he and these humans get captured by these aliens. And he hangs around these two women, and I don't know quite what their relationship all is, but they crime fight together, so to speak. And these aliens put all these humans that get captured in these like huts. And the huts are separated by people that support Doctor Who and people that support Star Trek. So it's the Whovians versus the Trekkies or Trekkers. And it's hilarious. Oh my God, this stuff is so great. And his art's fantastic. And these were all published by Dark Horse Comics. And this was when like Dark Horse was like super indie. And they were like
Flaming Carrot and Concrete.
Yeah, Concrete, Dark Horse Presents, an anthology, The American, things like that. This was when like
did they have a they did American Flag? No, they didn't.
No, they didn't do American Flag. That was like First or Pacific Comics or something like that. But I really liked Dark Horse back then. What else? Maybe before that was like Boris the Bear. And I didn't really read a lot of Concrete, so I hope.
I've read a lot of Concrete.
Yeah, that was like a touchy-feely comic, right?
Yeah, very much. It was very good.
It was like it was not a comic that you would expect then. You kind of would expect it.
It was like so different from everything back then.
Now it's very much like everything.
Well, no,
and nobody
because it was
knows.
black and white. So
well,
no,
black and white. Your favorite? That's your preferred comic, right?
Well, I'm not as old as you, but in some ways, I'm older because
I
I
don't
like
know.
a black and white comic more than a color comic. I'm sorry.
What if James Stokoe was doing it? Would you want it black and white or color?
Well, yeah, probably color because like he colors his own stuff for the most part, and it's like really awesome.
His pencil, his ink work was probably pretty.
It's really great.
Pretty good.
It is. I could definitely take it either way, but I don't know. Some stuff I like better in black and white.
Like, like Madman in black and white?
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
Without a doubt.
With the blue scale.
Yeah.
Like for those early issues with like the blue tones. It's just black and white with blue.
I don't hate it colored. I don't hate it in
I
color.
love it colored.
It's really good color.
Laura Martin is an amazing...
Laura Allred.
No, Laura Allred is an amazing colorist. And like his Silver Surfer, I would never choose black and white over the color version, or like the later Madman. Like it's really good. The later color Madman is great. I like it just as much as I like the older.
I'm good with it either way, but I am partial to black and white as well.
And then for those of you that don't know, Mike Allred is colorblind, and that's why it was in black and white originally. So there you go. All right. Oh, I'm back. Hey, everybody.
You're back.
I'm back.
Oh,
Hey.
we're back.
We're back.
I'm glad I didn't have my finger up my nose.
Oh, I totally forgot to play our music. I'll play it on the way out. And,
Also, you forgot to David LaFuente.
oh well. Oh shoot. Let me have that.
Just hold it up.
So we were talking about David LaFuente because he did what? I can't remember.
Now I don't remember why we were talking about him.
Anyway, there's this cover that he's doing for House of X.
Oh.
That's all Ilyana.
Magic.
That's a Colossus's sister, Magic. She is what is she, still a ruler of Limbo? I don't
Yeah, I
know,
think
something
so.
like that. In
Part-time.
between hell and earth. and
Part-time.
whatnot. Part-time, yeah. Part-time Limbo person.
Who knows now? I mean,
Yeah,
probably
well, that's
she's,
true.
She's just a clone of.
We'll have to wait and
Liliana.
see what Hickman does, and then
Who knows?
yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
So I don't know if I'm gonna give a little bit of a spoiler.
Uh-oh.
There were some X-Men that died in House of X 4, and we're gonna get. You've read about 5 or 10 pages of that, right?
Of this?
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're going to get an answer as to what's going to happen to those characters.
Correct.
So there you go. A little spoiler there. It's not much of one, but a reason to come in and get it. Especially if you're like, man, it was quite the cliffhanger. There you go. So, 18, how'd that go?
Fine. Went well.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
I think it went pretty well. I'm
Why don't you
bummed
ask chat?
about the music at the beginning. What was that?
Ask chat.
A mukbang time. I don't know if there's any real mukbang, but
Come on, Eugene.
The peanut butter beer.
Oh damn! Yeah, we've got peanut butter beer. Are you interested in that?
If that's the only option, then yes.
Oh shoot, Eugene's woken up. There might be a thing.
You woke the dragon.
Oh no! Chase that dragon.
Was he
away.
sleeping in the back somewhere? What's going on, Eugene?
Eugene, everybody wants to mukbang this.
Yeah.
What is this?
Mukbang.
What? Oh god! All right, what is it? Is this beer?
Yeah.
That's good.
Is
All right,
it
what is
real
it?
beer or is it ginger beer?
Here, let me give you the.
You show the label because it's a good label.
Do you know what this company is?
I do not.
It looks like an ugly doll or something like that.
It does look good.
All right. Yeah. So, oh god damn, this is the peppercorn beer.
Peppercorn, like actual black pepper.
I don't know, but man,
Peppercorn
I don't
wheat.
like the sound of that at all.
It's a wheat beer too.
Oh, and it's a wheat beer. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna cut through this foam. What do you think of that? Do you like that?
You know, we watch mukbang so that we can hear what you think.
Oh yeah.
So why don't use your words?
Let me do it. Let me get one more sip in there.
He wasn't paying attention to the first sip. He
it's
was
not
holding
really-
his nose and
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's so. I don't know. It's not. Yeah.
drink it like a snooty wine connoisseur.
Is it peppery?
Aspirate it in your mouth and
Right. Whirl
roll
it.
it around. Do all that
I don't like
nonsense.
I'm not a fan. I don't know if I can.
It's that easy, huh?
I think that's all I can really say. As far
That you
as
don't
that's
like
concerned.
it.
I thought I had a mukbang banner, but I guess I don't.
Make it. Takes 2
Ah,
seconds.
It does it? Count that down then.
You're right. You're right. We don't hear what he thinks.
1, 0. Countdown complete.
All right, let's see if this works. Boom. All right, mukbang.
Mukbang.
All right, so we have here. Let me get this can.
Have we ever had an item on this segment of the show that you liked?
ISO peanuts.
I don't know. Probably
Eugene,
not.
Eugene, let's change it up. Let's get something he likes.
All right, so this
No.
is my buddy's brewery, Anna Banana. She owns Strum Brewery with her husband, who I only met once. Seems like a cool dude.
Is that two?
This
No,
is their-
8.1%. Okay.
This is their peanut butter. What does
Stout.
that say? Stout. Uh-oh. Watch out. So I'm going to try that. They also sent up with
tastes
my
like peanuts.
cousin who brought this beer. We've had this for a while, by the way. There was one called Puppy Souls. That was pretty good. I like that. It was an IPA, I think. And there was one called Chillin' with My Homies. And I enjoyed that one too.
What's
But
the
this
word
is a
pun there?
stout, and I'm not that big a fan of stout.
What's the pun in that previous one? Chilling with my homies.
I think it's Chillin' with My Homies.
What's the pun?
Instead of Chillin' with My Homies.
I don't get it. What's the difference?
One's with a C and one's with an S.
No one said
chillin'?
chilling. That's not a thing.
Chilling.
Maybe I just read it wrong and it really was just chilling with my homies.
Well, I don't get it. If it's
I mean, if it
chilling.
was chilling, then if shilling was something, well, I mean,
Chilling.
It is something, but it doesn't really relate to making a beer.
Don't get it.
All right, it's beside the point. They
I'm going to
they named
assume
their
that you
beers.
got it wrong.
All right, you know what? User error. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's peanutty. Very peanutty.
Whoa, I can smell it before I even drank it.
I forgot to tell you I have a peanut allergy.
I can't breathe. Well, that was... Well, and it was in... All right, so it's not until I get my mouth on the cup and I'm breathing it in. Like, I need my mouth and my nose to get the whole experience. But this
that's how
peanut
flavor
butter
works.
aspect is, like, right there. What was that?
I said that's how flavor works.
Yeah,
Use your mouth and your nose.
Well, usually I just...
experience.
But it's not as strong if I'm...
The bouquet is
The bouquet is powerful. It's there, baby. All right, let's try this.
Could you huff it if you put it in a bag?
No.
Yeah, I think you could, right? Well, I mean, I don't think it'll do anything.
No.
That's what I don't think
If
it'll
you
matter.
huffed a bunch of carbon dioxide, yeah, it would do something.
It would do something.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not in love with it, I gotta say.
I'm not in love with it either. I don't like it.
It is very peanutty though.
But I'm not.
Peanut.
Do you like peanut butter?
Yeah, I love it.
But he doesn't like stout.
I don't like stout. But
How
it's
would you pair peanut butter if not with a stout though?
No, you wouldn't.
Like that's it. That's the way to go.
That's the only way. Yeah.
And I've had other peanut butter stouts.
What if you had peanut butter and
So the problem is that I've
chocolate
never had
stout?
peanut butter. Oh yeah, I've had that.
Reese's
just
peanut
had
butter
that.
stout.
Lost Coast Brewing. Shout out to Lost Coast Brewing. This is not an advertisement. They do a chocolate peanut butter stout that is really good, but it's
Is it-
much less alcoholic than this, and it tastes a lot more like chocolate and peanut butter and less like alcohol.
Right.
Well, 8.1. I mean, come on, that is nuts.
Strong. It's strong.
That's for people who are buying based on number, not taste.
Yeah, sit and well. Yeah. Maybe.
You ever meet people that are like, "Hey, what's the most alcohol you've got in a beer?" Philip's like that, right? He goes to the bar
Really?
and asks, "Yeah."
But he bought.
He likes
Like
IPAs, yes, but he wants the one that's present at the
double
local
IPA.
brewery with the most
He wants
booze
the
in it.
Imperial stout. He wants the double IPA
The double IPA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Imperial IPA.
I'm
That's
gonna let him figure it out. Not gonna help him.
I mean, you
Well,
know,
I like my
do that
friend's
when I
other
go
beers,
to
by
the.
the way.
I do that when I go to the weed dispensary, though. I totally
You go, which
I'm
one's
on
strongest?
number or yeah. I'm like, what? It's give me that 90%.
90%. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking
don't. Is it the
concentrates.
alcohol that I'm tasting? Really?
Yeah, I think
is
so.
that?
I think that's what it is.
If
I
I was a
don't dislike
teenager
it.
and I was looking to
I
get
like
really
it.
messed up, I'd probably dig this.
yeah.
because it still
Or
tastes
an
like
adult looking to get really messed up. Either
Yes.
If you like peanuts, then yes.
way.
Oh God, more stuff.
He said-
ISO peanuts.
I heard you like peanuts.
What are these?
I heard you like peanuts.
Did he mishear that?
All right, this is the stuff. It's we can feed me all this stuff: rice flour, wheat flour, peanuts, sugar, salt, soy sauce, nori, which is
Oh, you're reading an
seaweed,
ingredient
Oh,
list. Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out what you were doing.
cornstarch, potato starch, caramel,
Oh, it's just peanuts that are
FD,
coated in
NC,
gluten.
And other
yellow
peanut
number
parts?
6.
Yeah.
Well, hold it up, man. Hold it up. Hold it up.
Going to.
It's like Boston beans. It's like a peanut that's completely covered in stuff.
Am I going to be disgusted?
Probably. I mean, you're weak.
I am weak.
Yeah, it's good crunch. Heard it from quite a ways away.
Peas nuts are D's nuts.
I don't see anything wrong with these.
Whoa! Now that is high praise. That is high praise, ladies and gentlemen. It does
Anything
not-
wrong with these?
That does not happen in life.
It's fine. Nothing wrong with it.
All right. It's the
They're
best.
sweet. They're sweet.
Funny. So funny.
It is like Boston baked bean, isn't it?
Yeah, it sounded like it.
It's very
Nothing wrong.
Yeah,
with
it's like-
Boston
it's like
baked
a-
bean.
it's like a Boston baked bean, but it's more like a puff than a those nuts that are going to break your teeth.
Is there an actual center that is a nut
Yeah.
and it's a peanut?
Yes.
Okay.
It's ISO.
It's ISO. It's isolated.
It's an ISO peanut.
It's the ISO play. No, I'm done with your crap now. I'm done.
Dandy Pack dry roasted peanuts. Those are
Say
just
that.
plain
No, I
peanuts.
don't. I have plain peanuts
They're
already.
Read the
just-
ingredient list on those.
On their plain peanuts.
Yes.
Ingredients:
Fuck you. peanuts.
peanuts,
All right, everybody.
yeast extract,
Let me,
brown
change
sugar,
that.
sea salt, garlic powder, onion powder. May contain milk ingredients, tree nuts, sesame seeds, soya, and wheat.
There you go.
Yes. Excellent.
Coming at you straight out of Fresno.
Fresno.
Where do they farm peanuts?
All over the place, but mostly in the South, I think.
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly.
Georgia.
is
Atlanta.
famous for peanuts.
Georgia.
That's where George Washington Carver was from.
That guy-
And peanut butter and like 8,000 other peanut uses.
Ah,
I
Man.
used to get. Man, I remember as a
Peanut
kid.
butter
Man,
Probably
it was like,
invented ISO peanuts.
Jimmy
for-
Carter. Jimmy Carter. You know my
gotta say
last
it
name.
right. Kata.
Carter. No, then there was Welcome Back Cotter. But it was like all that stuff. Jimmy Carter. I hated hearing that all the time, but I dig that guy. He's pretty cool.
Good night,
Yeah, but
glitter and duct tape.
Back then, it was all.
Goodbye, Jill.
All right.
Back then, when you were waiting in line to get gasoline, and
That's
people were
exactly
like,
how it was. back then,
Hey,
yeah.
Carter, this is your fault.
That's right.
What's the matter with getting those terrorist hostages back?
All I wanted to do was watch
I'll
some
call
Saturday
them.
morning cartoon, and it just gets interrupted by hostage bullshit. And I was like, what is
This is
stuff?
the best in Carter news.
No way. Give me Carter Hall. Now that's a Carter. Give me some superpowers,
Mace me.
See you, Fantinuum.
Wow, we lost Fantinuum. I'm sorry.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into another
Yes.
episode.
It's a
Real
bunch of
fun.
It's called Gugon, or you can use alcohol.
Yeah, but don't put it
drink
on a
Gugon.
comic
Guys,
book
don't
cover.
drink
We
Gugon.
only
You
use that
just
for
have to
fun.
be. You just have to be very gentle. It evaporates clean.
Yeah, you can cut it with seltzer water, but I'm telling you, don't drink Gugon.
Do not drink it, no matter what they say. It's from the power of oranges. Don't worry about it. No, I don't think I'd put it on the cover of a comic book. It'll eat it away.
Test it on another comic that you don't care about.
There's
A little bit
people
on a
that show.
a trade paperback surface, maybe that's highly glossy, but
A glossy
My
surface for sure.
My recommendation for anybody that wants to learn about cleaning comics, you can check out some stuff on YouTube as far as it's concerned, or you can go straight to Reggie Collects. That's a gentleman who came in my store and let me know that he had a YouTube channel. And in that YouTube channel, he talks a lot about collecting, and he has a whole series on pressing comic books and cleaning them. And if you want to see somebody working on it and trying to, show you what you might want to do, that would be a way to go if I was going to do that. But I probably wouldn't use Gugon for comic books for like Jeff said, glossy comic book or books, then yeah, you could do that. That'd be my recommendation. Maybe the matte covers if
And
you don't
even
care.
that, like, you use a tiny amount. Like, use the Goo pen if you can
Yeah,
get
it
the
goes-
Goo pen.
The
Which
little
is
goes
like
a
a
long way.
Marker that you can like press down and get the liquid into the felt tip, and you can just apply a little tiny bit at a time, and you don't need to get it on your fingers because Goo is highly corrosive. I recommend the Goo pen.
There you go.
That's
Good
nice.
pen.
I'd like to try one of those
All right,
out.
try, see if we can talk to Goo and who was the other people we were after?
Oh, our beer and
No, you didn't like the beer enough. You can't recommend the
Yeah,
beer.
no, that
So
well,
That was
I
good.
definitely recommend Strum's Brewery's Puppy Souls.
All right.
yes. Strum Brewery,
Whatever.
Puppy Soul. Very
recommend
good.
Strum
Something
Brewery.
with my homies. Something with my homies.
Something with his home.
Something
Yeah, I
that
don't know.
rhymes.
That's like a 33% bad review. I don't know.
33. No.
You like two
Yeah.
and you didn't like one. 33% negative
Whoa.
review.
That's really
Wow,
good.
That's really looking at
It's a
the
good
glass
baseball average.
half empty. It sounds to me more like a 66% positive review.
That's right. Exactly. 0.6.
Do you think the brewery's going to feel that way?
Yeah, they
I
don't care.
hope so.
I straight up said that I don't like stout. I mean, it happens.
They chose the wrong guy. I guess Eugene chose the wrong guy.
No,
Who chose the wrong guy?
no. You'll.
Yeah, Yule's
I
the
chose
wrong
the wrong
guy. Yeah, Yule's the wrong guy for that beer. So who chose it?
Oh, it was a pack of 6 different beers. It was a little taste
sample. Okay,
Sample.
okay, yeah.
And these cans are big too.
So it was
you know?
only the one that he didn't care for, really.
Yeah, so far. And I think I actually had another one. I don't remember the name.
Well,
So
Anyway, this was great. I learned how to share video or at least pictures with you guys.
technologically, we are coming along.
We are coming along. This is like, yeah, we're like another 10 years and we're going to really figure this out. Next time I will play our theme song for the store, which won't necessarily be the theme song for this show. But if we can make banners, that would be good too. But I'll try and figure that out later. How's
Good
that
night.
sound? Good night.
Doc Severinson's going to play us out.
All right, I ended it.